So we picked a spot. Now let's just do some warm-ups. My choice warm-up is just getting the fingers going. You're gonna have to pick and fret to play whatever you're gonna play anyway, so you may as well just get those going. Now my guitar is in tune, but it doesn't have to be in tune to do this because all you're doing is basic coordination. 1, 2, 3, 4. Cross the strings. Just pick up your guitar. At whatever speed you challenge yourself to do, whatever speed you're comfortable with, but to keep it going, either reverse direction. Now, no matter how much fun that is, you're going to get a little bored just staying in the same position on the guitar. So, why don't you move the exact same thing up the guitar? Let's just go to the 12th fret. If you'll notice, these are the only things that are going to be required of you to play the guitar, is to coordinate your hands, 4 fingers, sometimes your thumb, but 4 fingers in your picking hand, and to move it up and down the guitar. And like I said, your imagination is the only thing that'll keep you from getting bored with doing this. Also, a metronome or a drum machine. I'm going to start with the metronome.
A metronome.
Can look like this, sounds like this. Drum machines are also very cool. Normally I would put on a drum machine, but I'd be using my phone, and I'm using my phone to record this. So pretend it's a drummer. Now let's do the exact same thing, but let's have a little fun with it. Doing nothing in particular except doing the basic requirements of the instrument. As you do more and more of this, your speed will build and your confidence will absolutely build, and the muscle memory will be trained. If you got your metronome or your drum machine going, and you're not just flying by the seat of your own brain, you can go right into jamming out. Because after a bit, you're going to be improvising. Now, I'm just doing a little riff and making it rhythmic, but I'm going to jam it out. Let's turn it into a tune. I'm going to use just this one string, just one string. That's one example of just jamming out. That's why you're learning guitar, right? Now, if you have things you are working on, say you're working on a chord, why don't you start jamming out that chord? Let's take two finger A, and just now, let's start throwing the open strings. Let's move it around a little bit, shall we? And let's create little statements. strings. See what it sounds like here. But the most important thing is you're building rhythm. Rhythm's everything. And you're also building a relationship to the guitar. And finding out what you think is fun. One jam that you might like to do with me right now is rock and roll. Steals the show. Makes everybody wanna say, oh yeah. Rock and roll. Steals the show. Makes everybody wanna say, oh yeah. Rock and roll steals the show. Makes everybody wanna say, oh yeah. Rock and roll steals the show. Makes everybody wanna say. So many things, but warm up, jam out. Then look at the things you're supposed to look at. You can turn off the metronome at this point or a drum machine. But now you look at the things you need to know. Are power chords something you're working on and you're having trouble getting them to settle? This is when you set yourself little challenges. How can I make the most out of the information staring me in the face? I'm reading this off a page and I'm trying to make sense of it. Okay, I don't think that's right, but that still sounds kind of cool. Let me just move them back and forth. I'm learning something. Even if I'm not learning the exact thing I'm supposed to learn, I'm learning something. And I'm getting better at interpreting the thing that's in front of me by making mistakes and having those corrected at a later point in time or by another individual. But if you're working on your open chords, make sure you can hear them all. And make sure you can move from one to the other, because this is what you're going to need to write songs or to play songs or to learn the songs you want to play. So that brings you to like the end of a pretty good build up of a practice session. You've already done some weight training, and then you did a little soul expanding. Just jamming, throwing out your imagination. Then you've worked on some of the things you needed to work on. Or, whatever it might be. But knowing how to do those things, what those things are called. And then, time to learn a song. Now, say you're not at a point where you know how to learn a song, and you're still even working off one string. Well, write out a couple numbers. For example, just start with 3. We'll start with 3 numbers, and we'll start with literally 3. So let's go 3, 6, 10. Totally random. Let's see what it sounds like. 3, 6, 10. It actually sounds pretty cool. So let's call it a song. Let's play a song. Let's make our own song. We're going to play it. You can put on your metronome, or you can just fly by the seat of your own rhythm right now. So many possibilities with that. Even just switching it on the strings. Or a song you've been working on. Say the song is Seven Nation Army. Now, it's fine to go over it on your own, but the challenge should be to put on the song and play along with it.
That's how you practice.
To put the song on and play along with it. Or to just go back to your metronome. The default on this is 100. I like 120, but we'll go with 100. So it's to keep a steady beat. And or say the song you're working on is Wild Thing. Whatever the song might be, try and play it from top to bottom with a steady beat that you have to keep up with. And if you fail, start over, try again. Set a challenge. If you can only succeed for so long, see if you can, succeed a little longer, a little longer, a little longer. And then you'll be pretty psyched when you can just do it in your sleep. But, have some fun. Sometimes failure is the most entertaining thing when you just fall on your face, but you're okay. Hope that was helpful. Hope that rocked. Would you like to do a number with me? One advice on how to practice. Run with it, run with it. Sometimes I'll just sit right on the floor. Or maybe this is the most comfortable place to play. Now, make sure your feet are at least on the floor. At least one of them. Don't get leaning back. Your guitar is going to run into the couch. It's going to be a disaster. You won't be able to play. But let's say you don't want to plug into your amp. It's too late to plug into your amp. And this is the most comfortable place to play. Go through the whole same motions. Warm up. Do your coordination building. Let your imagination be your guide. Just keep it simple. 1, 2, 3, 4. If you don't have a metronome, just really keep it even. Try to imitate every little bit, just like the last one. Nod your head a little bit, maybe tap your foot. But you can get into your jamming from here as well. And then you can work on the things you need to know. Now, one of the benefits, children of all ages, is that while you are sitting on the couch, chances are there's a television in front of you. And it's quite okay to look that way . Go through all your things, especially if you're practicing your scales, some of the boring stuff that you just need to just drill into your brain. In fact, it works with multitasking, watching cartoons while you play. Also helps to not be plugged in, so you can hear the television, but I don't recommend always not being plugged in. Having an amp is very important. If you're on an acoustic guitar, hey, just bring it really nice and low so you can hear the television. So what's also great about being in front of the modern television is if you've got your computer set up, you can put on a drum machine very, very easily and just use that to jam out, to play your songs, you know, whether it's or to be writing your own songs, you know. Eddie gave dynamite, thought that it would taste good, but when Eddie ate that dynamite, he realized that it was not food. And then with a flick of a button, you can go back to just kind of having some fun. Noodling around, watching cartoons, working on your scales, right? And then you can just be working on your scales. While watching whatever it is you're watching. There you have it. Just remember, no matter where you sit, when you sit, just make it count. Dig in, dig deep, have a ton of fun, and know that nothing comes overnight, and you just got to do it over and over and over again, if only for the fun of it. Just remember that no matter where it is you sit when you play, playing is practicing, practicing is playing, and practicing takes practice. And playing is always just playing. So have a lot of fun, make every session count, dig deep. Nothing comes overnight, but one day you won't be able to recognize the person you are from before when you went to sleep. Dang. No matter where it is you sit when you play, make sure you make it count. Dig in, dig deep. Practicing is playing, playing is practicing, practicing takes practicing, and playing is always playing. Always have fun. Always lean in, always impress yourself. Nothing comes overnight, but there will be days when you won't recognize the guitar player in front of you after you wake up from a good night's sleep. Keep it up. Keep it up. Peace.